All right, welcome back to the Fast Five. Today, I'm going to talk about how to deal with stress at work. Now, that's not easy, guys, because I don't know what environment you work in, and I don't know if that's a problem. But let's talk about what we're going to deal with, right? So there's two areas. There's the internal environment and there's the external environment. And most of the time, they're the two environments that are going to affect you, because whatever happens at work, you can control that by how you feel and how you act and what kind of energy that you bring forward. So that is something you can control. A lot of the times, depending on the environment you're working, because there's a lot of places a lot of people don't like working in. Depending on the environment, you can be the change in your workplace by doing all the right things. And so just because people aren't happy or they're not in the right frame of mind, doesn't mean you have to be. And I'll tell you why. Your attitude will translate and go into every part of your life. Your relationships with your family, your relationships with your friends, and your relationships with your colleagues. So your mood and how you feel will dictate how everyone else feels. And a lot of the times it's with the individual themselves. So a lot of stress at work is usually an environment issue. But more importantly, let's say you are working in a bad environment. Well, look, now guys, it's up to you. You can stay in a toxic environment and you can be there, and that's totally up to you. Then you got to ask yourself, if you're stressed out because of that, well, it's time to make a change in your life. It's time to move forward. It's time to be around the right people. It's time to be around the right environment. It's time to find a new group of friends that are going to help you change your life. Now, that ain't easy. And the reason that ain't easy is because that's not easy to do. And how do you do that? Well, first, ask yourself, are you in the right frame of mind? Are you doing all the right things in your life to have the right energy, right? And are you making sure that you're becoming accountable to that? Because that's extremely hard. And so what do you need for that? You need discipline. Because now you're saying you're stressed out. And the reasons you're stressed out is because you're putting out that energy. Anyone that's stressed, right, will bring stress into their lives. So if you're happy, if you start a gratitude journal, if you start hanging around the right environment, if you start having the right conversations, well, now you control your destiny. So what I would suggest, guys, is if you want to deal with stress, you've got to ask yourself, are you part of a problem that's part of a bigger problem? And do you want to stay within that stress because it's going to make things worse? And so I would say is have a look at your life, have a look at what you need to change, have a look at where you want to improve, and have a look at what you feel you deserve, and then start developing in those areas, because self-development is one of the biggest areas that I say for people to work in order for them to improve their stress in their lives. And a lot of the times, guys, it's environment. So make sure your environment's right to deal with stress, and make sure you talk to the right people if you're stressed out, because that's vitally important for your happiness, for your health, and for having an amazing life. So, guys, have a look deep within yourself and see what you can change to make you have a better life and deal with stress.